Okay.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the podcast
with Paiton and
Evelyn. Hey, and we have a special guest with us today.
Yes.
As y'all can see, we got Morgan in the building. Big hand claps to her.
Thank you.
So we appreciate you for coming on here, and maybe you can just give us like a little introduction, you know, for the people, for who you are, kind of like what you do, and like even tell them about your podcast.
So my name is Morgan. I by day I'm a strategist at an ad agency, and then by night I do content creation. I have a platform called Pretty Standard, which I have had since about my sophomore year of college, so it's been about like 4 or 5 years now. Well, actually 5-6 years now. And I also do a podcast with my best friend, Grow Together. We just started, I want to say about a month ago, so those are my endeavors right now. But anytime it's something about storytelling, interviewing, getting people to answer questions, that is my lane.
Yes, and let me tell y'all, like, when I look at the content that she makes, like, it is so good. Like, it is top tier level. Like, every single time I'm like, dang, let me get like Morgan. I'm like,
Peyton and I talk weekly. We talk weekly, Jesus. So we're just putting it on camera now. Yes. But we talk every week because I do Tuesday questions,
complimenting her,
and she's always
does. Yeah, she.
So, and I love it here. So I love what Peyton and Evelyn are doing. So I'm so excited to be here.
When I tell you, she always keeps the people engaged. She always keeps them in conversation, and that's what I love. I love a good little debate, a little, you know, get the mind working and everything.
Look,
I be like, yes. I be like, she's doing that.
No, you're wrong.
Thing.
I don't agree. No.
Yeah, she be putting up the people's responses. Like, the people actually be with it. Like, this ain't no just like, oh, I'm just doing it. Like, no, the people be responding to her. Like don't.
And it really does. I think that's like content creation too. Is like it takes the people. Like you know, like especially you guys doing a podcast now. Like you see, like it takes two. Like it takes them responding and letting you know what they like, and then you guys putting out. So I love what you guys are doing here, for real.
Thank you, thank you. We appreciate that. I love what you're doing.
Oh.
But even on like the topic of like content creation, like, I guess, how do you deal with it when it's rough? Because it can be so difficult trying to come up with a new idea or trying to like stay on track. Because I know that you were recently trying to like transition like some of the stuff that you were doing, and it's like, you know, keeping up with the algorithm. It's like, how do you do all that?
My main thing is that I'm not afraid to quit something. Like, if I don't like it, if it's not working, if I'm not having fun no more, I'm quitting. Okay. YouTube, I tried YouTube for a good 2 weeks. And I said, I'm not feeling it. So, like, if I end up having to, you know, transition the platform to it, it's, like, cool. But I would definitely try to find a team to help me with that. Like, it wouldn't just be, it wouldn't just be me. I would find people that can help me, and that would be that. Because I think knowing when you are not enjoying the content, like, people can tell that. Of, like, you don't seem interested. You don't seem like you like it. So, just trying to stay authentic to, like, what do I want to see? And then I just go with it.
Are you ever worried about like the amount of followers, or do you ever feel like, oh, this post didn't get enough likes, or oh, this thing didn't get enough comments, or this one didn't get enough, like, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like that. Like, one thing we do really great and we got like a ton of views or like a ton of hits, and sometimes it'll be on stuff where I didn't even think we would do that well. Like, it's always the post where I'm like,
I took a little time to do that little extra piece.
Like, like, I didn't know that one would be the one that like blew up, but that literally happened. So do you ever feel like, you know, how do I keep up with that?
I do. I think everybody that does content does, because when you think about like sponsorships and things like that in the future, you know, like getting paid for the work, that's what they look for. They look for the engagement. But I think engagement has been my biggest thing. It's like, as long as somebody's responding back to me, I feel like I did my job. Like, that's really the biggest thing, is having people Because even now, I think just doing the Tuesday questions alone, like, I think I've built relationships that I can honestly be like, I kind of know how you think, you kind of know how I think, which I enjoy. So,
yeah.
I will say that I'm kind of nervous to even, like, if I ever got to a point where it was, like, a bigger platform, like, me not knowing who's watching me and who's, like, watching and engaging would be like, dang. I don't know, this is weird. Like,
yeah, that kind of is weird. I kind of always think about that too, because we're like in a space where we're trying to like really change our platform. Like we really we haven't told anybody or explained it yet, but like by next year we're gonna have like a whole turnaround, and we don't just want to do podcast stuff. Like we want Champagne Chanel to actually become a brand.
I love that.
So it's like I want to keep reaching out to content creators, you know, like you, and like even like with the other work that you do, like you probably know other stuff that I don't know about, you know, where we
right,
can, like,
vice versa.
yeah, where we can help each other out. And I feel like that's what it's really about. Like you said, creating a team.
Right.
Like even if we all came together on a completely different project, now we created a team of like 3 people, you know, and then you get some other people in, and now it's a whole production setup. That's how you kind of level up. That's how you kind of move up. And I feel like I'm trying to get us onto that wave and onto that mindset of like being able to communicate with other people, networking, meeting new people, and like really getting ourselves out there.
And networking is so huge, and it's so like
it's so hard.
It's so hard
because
nice. You just don't know, and it's time. Like
it is time
to be able to have somebody, you know, collab and do all these things. It does take like a lot of effort, a lot of time, and then like and ideas. Like having to make sure that this person down the line isn't gonna do something crazy that's like this don't align to what I was saying, but like we collabed in the past, you know, like having people that you really genuinely want to build a relationship with is big.
Yeah, I agree with that, because kind of like you said in the beginning, we've been kind of talking back and forth on like Instagram for a while.
It's been a long time.
Saying we were gonna do something, and we're gonna meet up, we're gonna collaborate on something. So we kind of had that time, I feel like,
to be able to see like, okay,
to be like, okay, this is like what she thinks about stuff, this is what I think about stuff. So we kind of were able to realize we kind of are on similar, you know, like if we were on each other's platform, it's not gonna ruin you know, each other's like.
And it's okay to disagree. Like that's never a bad thing. Like having differing opinions, but definitely how you present the opinion is big.
Yeah, depending on like who's there, they could honestly ruin your whole
right thing. What you say? Cancel. No.
Look, you put Kanye West on your platform.
Look.
You are done for. Let it go.
It's get low.
Said, what? Kanye West said what? Like
you gotta cut it out.
Yes, the last thing he just did, foolishness. I was like, why would you do that, Kanye? Why would you do that?
It gets crazy.
Like every single time we try to support you, and you just mess it up, Kanye. You mess it up.
And the music always be there. That's why it's like, dang.
Yes, he one of them people that you want to support, but you like. They make it hard to support them.
Right. Because do you guys think that you can separate the artist from the craft? I mean, from the person?
I try to. I try to. But I usually won't support their new stuff.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like, I will support their stuff from when I started with them.
Talking about before I knew what you were.
But then when I realized what he was on, I haven't listened to any of his stuff, honestly.
Okay.
But the old stuff, yeah. Because for me, that was before I knew, and before you were talking crazy.
True.
So it wasn't an issue.
That's the old you. No, for real.
So now, because the new you was doing projects and this is the new you, no, I'm not going to support that and give you money to your new stuff. But yeah, the old stuff. That's kind of how I think about it.
Yeah, I think depending on what they do. Like, if I just don't agree with you, then it's like, okay, you know, whatever. But like, if you do something wild, then it's like, oh, I gotta pull back. I gotta.
Yeah. It depends on like the level of craziness. Like, is it that bad? Can I stick with you through this, or do I have to throw you away?
Right. It's like I'm just not gonna listen to an interview by you no more because I know you not. That's not what I want to hear. Or is it like, nah, for real? Yeah. I don't even know what you were thinking. Like,
like you're far gone.
No, really. Talking about you gotta reel it back in.
You're out of space at this point. You're out of this galaxy. Like, I can't even, me and you, no. It's a no-no. But on that note, we are gonna segue into our actual topic for this week's episode. So basically, well, maybe Evelyn can start it off and explain.
I feel like I can start, but I feel like this is for you, Paiton.
Go ahead.
I think this is for you.
Why is this for me?
This is based on a recent
based on a true
experience.
story.
A true story. A recent experience.
You gotta air it out. You gotta let us know.
You gotta let the people know what happened.
Real life story.
But
I'm not gonna say who the person was.
Yeah, we're not gonna say who the person was.
I don't want to judge people.
Yes.
Because it's not like I hate this person or anything. I'm not that type of person. But I just felt like this was an interesting topic to talk about.
And not only that, you don't know who's watching.
That's true.
They're watching right now. They said
they might already know. They already know. But look, be grateful I didn't say your name.
You on to something.
Be grateful I didn't say your name. That's all.
But basically, we want to just talk about the trending topic of like femininity, masculinity, a woman having both of those traits, and just how that ties in to be like an independent boss woman in like corporate America. And can you show those feminine traits in those spaces? Do you have to choose when to, you know, show those traits? Can you turn that on and off? Can you be both an independent woman and a feminine woman? Is that possible? And we kind of just wanted to bring this topic up because of an experience that Paiton over here had. But it kind of just ties into what it means to be feminine, and does smiling make you a feminine woman? Is that a trait that you have that's supposed to dictate whether you're feminine enough or not? Paiton, do you agree with this statement? Do you have to smile in order to portray yourself as a feminine woman?
Okay, well, let's run it back. Let's explain the story. I'm gonna explain the story first. So, okay, we're gonna rewind. Okay, y'all hear the little rewind? Take real. Okay, we're gonna play that. So, me and Ellen were at an event this past Sunday, and we enjoyed the event. So the event was not the problem. The speaker of the event was not the problem. Okay, not a problem.
He wasn't a problem.
It just was like things that we didn't agree with.
Yeah.
You don't agree with. Yeah. You don't agree with everything that somebody says, but it wasn't like he was the problem. Like he wasn't being rude to me or attacking me. That's why I say he was not the problem. But there was someone there that felt as though, well, this was by the end of the night, because we were volunteering at the event. There was a ton of other people that like were volunteering with us, and we had a good time, and they were like really nice women. We enjoyed ourselves. We got a lot of free stuff. So that's what I'm saying. It was not a problem because I got free stuff from this person. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm not saying you're a problem. But there was somebody there that felt the need to, at the end of the night, come up to me. And it was a man. And he felt the need to come up to me and tell me, like, hey, I just feel like you don't smile enough, and you're too young for that, and it's okay, you just need to work on that some more. And to me, I'm thinking, like, why is this grown man coming up to me to tell me that I need to smile more? Because number one, I was working the event and I was smiling and laughing a lot. Anybody that could see me could see I was laughing, I was giggling, I was dancing a little bit. So how you got the idea that I need to smile more after 2-3 hours or so of seeing me work an event, you felt the need to basically give your opinion about me and just judge me and say that, you know, I'm this mean person who doesn't smile enough. I just felt like I was taken aback by that, and I found it to kind of be rude and stepping out of line. And I feel like there are other people, specifically other men, that do that to women as well, and they do that to women often. Like, no matter where a woman is at, like a woman could be like busy doing something really important, and they feel the need to tell a woman, like, oh, you're really pretty, you should smile, like, why aren't you smiling right now? And I just feel like, why does me being a woman, or being a good woman, or being a feminine woman, or being a correct woman have to do with how many times I smile? Because first of all, it seems like you're trying to put smiling on a meter. So how do we measure that I've smiled enough? That's the issue that I'm having. Like, how can we measure that Paiton has smiled enough in her lifetime? Because I can't exactly go back to a tape reel from when I was first born to now to see how much I was smiling and go stick it on a measuring thing and say, Paiton has smiled 78% of her life. That is good smiling. And then if somebody else, we measure them and you say, that person has smiled 15% of their life. That is bad smiling. Like, how do we determine that a woman has smiled enough just off of you meeting them one time? Like, that is the issue that I have. But maybe y'all can tap in and give your point of view on it, because that's how I feel about the topic and the issue here.
Well, okay, I would agree with having like an issue with that, because I just feel like, what is the purpose of coming up to someone in the moment of them doing something and interrupting them and saying, you need to smile more? Right. That part in itself makes no sense to me, because you don't know what that person's doing in that moment. You don't know what they're thinking in that moment. Because I've had that experience. I'll be sitting waiting for a ride. I used to do this in college. I'll be waiting for my ride to come, so I'll be standing at the door, and a man will come up and say, he will literally position himself to look me in my face and say, oh, you need to smile more. You too cute to not smile. What's going on? And I told him,
just want to not smile even more. No.
I told him, I said, are you going to give me $1 million? He said, no. I said, okay, have a good day. Why are you in my face? You don't even know what I was thinking about. You don't know what I was going through at that moment. And you purposely put yourself in my face to ask if I was smiling. If that made you uncomfortable, me not smiling, you can continue your journey out that door and continue on about your day. You yourself chose to stop and look me dead in my face to tell me something that you didn't have to tell me. You wasted your energy and mine.
And I agree. Like, I think a lot of times, like you were saying, like, these are both men who approach y'all, and I think it's more so like, you don't seem approachable, but then it's contradicting because you approach me. So then it's like, am I not approachable, or like what? So I don't really think they know what a smile even means, because it's like, how you gonna tell me that like me smiling is like not making you want to talk to me, but then you decided to talk to me? So it's like, I don't know. I don't think they even know what a smile equates to. Like, what does that mean? Besides, like, I'm happy to talk to you, which is like, maybe if we actually spoke and we were speaking, I would have, expressions or whatever. But if it's like you just sitting somewhere, it's kind of like, you don't know, you could be daydreaming, you could be thinking about what you gotta do tomorrow. Like, it's just so many things, like you said, going through people's heads that, like, a smile doesn't equate to me being happy or mad or whatever. It's just, I'm just sitting. Like you said, something you said before the call, like, before we start talking of, like, it's certain people just react and have a natural smiling face. Like, that's just how they are. Versus other people are, like, very, like, resting bee face, as they say. Like, it just kind of, that's how they are until you talk to them. You be like, oh, like, you cool, I didn't even know. But that initial look to them is like more just reserved, like they not really expressing nothing.
And I feel like it's also just normal for a person to like engage in the world in a certain way, like to have a certain personality,
right?
Like, and by that I mean you don't know a person until you get to know them. So when you get to know them, then you gauge how you act around that person. So you're not going to initially just be friendly or just be in somebody's face like that 24/7. In certain settings, you get to know a person first. You get to, those are normal ways you conduct yourself, right? You're just not going to be in someone's face, and then if you do that, now you a creep. Right. Now if you do that, now they have the
too
terms.
Happy.
Yeah, now you too happy. Now you are what's the word they use?
A chaser.
Now you are not a chaser, not a people pleaser,
a hype? What?
Not a hype. What's the word they use for women that always
pick me?
Pick me.
Oh, yeah.
So now if we do now, thank you. Now, if we smile in your face all the time, now we a pick me.
No,
So
and then they ghost
choose.
you after that. They be like, oh, you
So you don't really smile with nobody else. Like, once you get me, now it's like, why you smiling so much? Why you in people's faces? I was in your face when we first started talking. Like, that's why you like me.
So it's so many issues that come up with a woman that a woman has to go through with, like, either you do this, it's not good enough. You do that, then now you're doing too much. So am I pick me? Am I doing too much? Like, what do you want? Which one do you want?
Yeah.
And that's kind of ties into what you say, like measuring the level of, like, smiling. Can I only smile this much at this time? Or this much at this time? If I want to go here, I got to make sure I smile here all the time while I'm in this space. So,
yeah. And that's a good segue into kind of what we were also discussing, which is like when you are a boss woman, you know, if you're put into a position where you are a leader on your job, you know, and everyone's looking at you. Maybe you're a director, you know, you're a supervisor, you know, you're a CFO, you're a CEO, whatever, you know, leadership position you may be on your job. And, you know, usually women are like usually minorities in that position. And so it may make, you know, a lot of men uncomfortable when women are in that high level position. So men may feel that women need to still act feminine enough because if we're in this high level CEO, CFO position, oh, you're too masculine for me. Like, you need to tone it down a little bit. Like, okay, you can be like, it's like they want everything about the woman but to be that, but they don't want to deal with it. Like,
you want like coworkers or to date? Like the men that are coworkers act like that, or
I feel like either one. Like they want women to step up, go to work, be boss women, like make money, and you say that you support that, but then when we're in those positions, whether it's dating us or even just dealing with us on the job, you don't want to listen to us. You don't want to respect us, and you're like, oh, you need to be quiet, you need to pipe down, you don't know what you're talking about, just be sweet, just be nice. And it's just like every single instance that I run into, I can't just sit there and be sweet and be nice. Like, I would love to, but it's going to be somebody that tries me, or it's going to be somebody that, you know, you have to tell them no, and you're going to have to be stern with them. But why does stern equal I'm being too masculine or I'm not woman enough? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that goes into, like, so to you both, what do you think are, like, traits of being an independent woman, boss woman, a feminine woman, and do they kind of, like, intermingle, do you think?
I think they intermingle. I just was actually reading about something because there was, like, this conversation about, like, if you don't feel like...
Love you, and we'll hear from y'all soon.
Bye.
See you soon.